That's quite all right.
You're gonna get your little mini flag there, Matt?
We're going to get the mini flag, and we're going to do this. We're going to change the wording of it as virtually recorded, the pledge. So if everyone at this time, so we can start a meeting, please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we're here at the special meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Ossining Public Library. And I didn't formally acknowledge the attendance at the last meeting, and I intend to do so. And joining me, Matthew Weiss, is Shandi Speller and Alice Joslow and Althema Goodson and Cecilia Quintaro and Lucinda Manding. And Amanda is not with us today. And the purpose is to review a policy, pandemic policy. Karen, I was wondering if the phrasing is too limiting, if it would be appropriate to call it pandemic and limited contact policy or something that we could just take this as a template and apply it to a broader circumstance. So we don't have to rewrite policies every time something pops up. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
We can call this whatever we want, but the wording in it has to be specific to pandemic because of the New York State requirements. So this one, as far as the content of it, we really don't have terribly much choice, but we can call it whatever we want.
No, I get it. I get it. Are there any additional comments or questions? Karen, was there anything else that you wanted to provide us, any insight to help us make the decision on the vote to accept or decline today?
Sure. The only thing I just wanted to say, and I believe I said this the other night, this is a supplement to our current policy and plan, which we've been using, I think, successfully since we put it into place. This particular supplement is to satisfy the New York State requirements that we address particular topics in particular language in particular ways. And this does so. I worked with Craig Olivo to make sure. I'm asking the board to adopt this provisionally, like you did with the current pandemic policy and plan, so that we can send it to the union for their review. That's part of the requirement that we have to do. And then once the union reviews and gives their comments, we can take a look at it again, perhaps in the policy committee if there are substantial things that they'd like us to review. And then I will ask the board to adopt it, not provisionally, I don't know what word to use, at the April meeting if we've heard back from the union by then. And we would time it that way. Any questions? I know I'm asking you to do this in a very fast way, and I don't like doing that.
Yeah, I actually did have some questions, and I'm sorry, everyone. I'm up in my office and I don't have a camera on my computer screen up here. So I'm here, but I'm not downstairs at my laptop. Anyway, the only thing that, pretending that this pandemic is like completely and totally real and everything, I liked our original pandemic policy. So I'm very happy that Karen says this is a supplement. And I'm just wondering if maybe we could say that is true, that it's not a complete, revision or anything. That's what I was being confused about. I thought that you were taking this to replace everything, but you're just explaining further.
Right.
So under it's an extension. Yeah.
On page 1, under purpose, the first paragraph, last sentence says this plan is a supplement to the Ossining Public Library's pandemic policy and plan.
It does say that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was focused on the New York State labor law, the number 27C, and I just wondered, the main thing I had was just adding a little bit of clarification all along about sites or links. So if anybody wants to click on the link and go into like labor law 27, you know how we've done that before? We've kind of linked where they tell us we have to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My main concern is that there's lots and lots of lawsuits now going on in a lot of the different states about various things. And I think that we're covering our actions here by referring back to that exact law. They're telling us what we have to do. So, I mean, there must be a New York Gov link, right, that we can just add. And it's the same thing with our collective bargaining thing with the civil service people, that they're requiring it with the input. Do they have pandemic policies for their union?
That I don't know.
Well, it says the plan has been developed with the input of the Civil Service Employees Association. That's our union.
Right, so
Oh,
because,
okay. Okay.
right, so because we're adopting this provisionally, that particular statement isn't true just yet. We're going to
Oh,
get
okay.
more input, and then once they give us the input, and then once the board adopts this, whatever word we want to use, that's not provisionally,
Yeah, yeah.
and that statement will be true.
Yeah. So it's not really the Civil Service Employees Association of the state. It's really our local union.
Yeah,
What is, I forget our local union's number. Could we add the number? No?
I can't remember
I
what
can't
their number
remember.
is.
I'm sorry. But see, a lot of what I'm just thinking about is just making sure we link to what we're being told to do, just so we cover ourselves. The other questions I had, or the other comments, were about the kinds of cleaning and disinfectant material stuff that we're using, because people do have allergies or whatever. And so, sorry, in terms of any health concerns. Yeah.
That's something that I wouldn't want to specify in the policy just for that reason. Molly does extensive research on the chemicals that we use in the building. And, you know, sometimes that research changes. It hasn't changed since the beginning of the pandemic, I would say. Am I correct in that, Molly, that we've been pretty, it's been pretty, words are escaping me this morning.
It's 9 o'clock.
You know.
Well, and we all have to remember that COVID fog is real. Most of the testing, what it's revealed is that you can use lesser percentages and still be effective. So if anything, you know, we're slowly, like they recommend, backing away from higher concentrations to lower concentrations. It's more economical and better for everyone, but nothing has been found to be dangerous or harmful or anything like that.
Well, I could just tell you my experience, because when I've gotten out into various places, I've sometimes noticed that my eyes burn or whatever, depending on whatever sanitation stuff they're using. And I haven't been into the library in the past year, so I don't know what you're using. If you're just using regular non-toxic water and soap, then that's great. But if there are actually chemicals that somebody might be allergic to, that's all.
I'm sorry, Lucinda, but this is also like a pandemic and they have to be cleaned. Like I have a lot of allergies as well, but regular soap and water just isn't gonna keep the place safe. And you know, I mean, you know, it is 9 o'clock. Can we move on? I don't want to go back and forth about cleaning materials. I'm sorry.
I think if we want to have that discussion, that's a discussion for another time. But I think as far as the policy goes, it's not a good idea to specify the types of cleaning products because that information tends to change.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then maybe what we could do is just put a link to the CDC guidance for keeping workplaces, schools, homes, and commercial establishments safe. Can we just put that link?
It's not a commercial space.
It says CDC guidance. We encourage all employees and contractors to use this. So we're asking them to use the CDC guidance for keeping workplaces, schools, homes, and commercial establishments safe.
We can
Our
put
actions
links,
are
link.
we can put links
dictated
to
by the
whatever we want.
CDC.
Okay, that's great. Okay,
I'm going to entertain a motion to accept this resolution, number 85, as it reads, resolved that the Board of Trustees approves the adoption of the Pandemic Operations Plan provisionally pending union input. Entertain a motion and a second. I have a motion from Alice and a second from Cecilia. All those in favor of the resolution, please indicate by saying aye.
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 If there are any objections or exceptions, please indicate so.
I just would like to say that I'll send whatever other questions I have to everyone, so you can review it, because Karen said she's going to bring it before the staff, so maybe they'll have the same questions that I have. So I didn't realize you weren't allowing discussion this morning, so I did vote yes on this, and so we'll move along.
The motion carries. Are there any other topics for our special meeting this morning or any continuation of this subject matter? There being none, I want to thank everyone for coming out this morning. Please excuse my puffy face. It's hard to get up. And I hope you all stay well and we'll see you all soon. Thank you.
The struggle is real. Have a good one.
Wait, do we have to adjourn.
We have to adjourn.
Yeah, you have to adjourn.
I'm sorry.
I
Thank you.
motion, who's gonna second?
I'll second.
All those in
Okay, I'll be
favor,
Matt.
please indicate by saying
Aye.
aye.
Hi.
Motion carries. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.